Welcome to the Dollars and Cents podcast with Wes the Economist and Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist. We're reporting to you live from the Wave Beach Realty Studios in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. All right, guys, welcome back into the Dollars and Cents podcast with Wes the Economist. I'm Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist. Today we're going to get into conspiracies, and this is our actual episode 7 because our...
8.
Well, our last episode. Oh, you're right. This is 8.
8.
So
we started out
our
doing
religion one was supposed to be 8. It went into a full podcast. So this is our quick clip series, episode 8.
Season 2, episode 8.
Season 2.
You'll go on our podcast. We have an intro to it, but it will say the same thing. But yeah,
Yes.
we kind of got carried away on the last podcast.
Yeah, we were
55 minutes.
Yeah.
But very interesting. I thought it was a very interesting time. It
I
flew
did,
by.
yeah.
I didn't realize we'd gone 55 minutes.
Yeah, I
until-
wasn't keeping track of time, but yeah, it was. It
So
went
switching,
by like that.
switching gears to another. Well, actually, they always talk about Jesus' resurrection being a conspiracy, but
Really?
So, but let's talk about today's conspiracy.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on right now. One,
The one we talked about last quick clips, the Tylenol.
yeah, the Tylenol conspiracy. They're trying to say, what was it? I don't. There's some. For like just in the whole autism thing in general, they're trying to say that they're about to start like recommending a certain drug to treat it that's supposed to be, and they're saying, I can't remember what the drug's called. It starts with an L, but I know somebody who has a child with autism and they're like full nonverbal, and she's going to try to see if she can get this prescribed to him immediately because they just made this treatment available. But
How long has it been tested? That was the question. That's what scares me.
well, I read an actual study on it. I was bored the other day and read a study on it that said using this, like, lowered some type of level in the brain that kind of controlled autism, and that it seemed like it would be a fairly decent treatment. Obviously, it hasn't been long-term tested.
Yeah.
So, but I would like them to do more with it.
Oh, yeah,
because,
definitely.
but you have a lot of people who are lower on the spectrum or have kids with it, and they're like, having autism isn't a problem. Like, it's almost like they don't want it fixed.
Right.
Like, because they argue that there's been Albert Einstein and a lot of the smartest people in the world have been
Elon's
autistic.
on the spectrum, isn't he?
Yep. Yeah. Which, so I mean, I get that, but I know from being around somebody who had a child who's fully nonverbal and can't take care of himself, I feel like there's a line there, and for that, I know she wants treatment because I've talked with her about it.
Yeah.
So for those people, those are the ones I'm fighting for, fighting for, but I'm on that side rooting for to figure it out. So, but yeah, they're trying to say that the drugs that are being pushed because RFK and Dr. Oz are kind of in cohorts that because Dr. Oz's company sells this drug that they're just trying to make a bunch of money off of it. I don't know whether that's true or not. I don't feel like that's the case from what I've studied about RFK, and I like him. And I was following him quite a bit for a while. I think he's a pretty genuine person, and I think he does really want to solve some of these issues. Yeah. And that's why he wanted to get in that medical space and kind of change what's going on with the sickness in our country. So I'm not behind that conspiracy theory. If it proves me wrong, it proves me wrong. But I don't think that there's any malice behind the whole Tylenol thing, and then this other drug that they've said could be, the FDA now will recommend to be treated for autism. And once my friend that I know, has her son, I'm going to ask her questions about if she's seeing changes or any positive or negative side effects or anything. But the drug, when I read I wish I could think of the name of the drug. I know it starts with an L, but it's like some long thing I can barely pronounce anyway. But the study I read said that the side effects of it from their study seemed to be very minimal. That it did. So we'll see with that one. At
this point, though, do we believe anything anybody says? I mean, that's the big issue.
Right. I know.
All this Tylenol stuff, the vaccine stuff, they're all upset about the vaccines.
Yeah.
And like we said on the earlier podcast, they're not saying you can't take Tylenol. They're just warning it, which, like we said, Tylenol's been warning for years.
Right.
But women should not take it.
Right, yeah, and like I said, I mean, anything you put into your body as a pregnant woman gets concentrated and pushed through that umbilical cord to your kid, and your unborn baby doesn't have the tolerance for acetaminophen straight to its body. So, yeah, it might cause developmental disorders, and autism could be linked to that. I mean, I'm not saying that's the only thing.
We don't know.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of factors.
There's a doctor I follow online, and he actually lined it up, and I didn't spend enough time watching it, so I don't know what he was saying, but he was just saying that was just one piece of the puzzle. that he thought it was just one piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, I don't think that's like if you got rid of Tylenol, autism would go away. I don't believe that at all.
Not at all.
But I think there's a correlation that needs to be studied.
Yeah, exactly. But all these conspiracy stuff. You said it was a new one about 9/11.
So Tucker's been digging. Well, this is part of the reason he got kicked off of Fox, because he was digging more into the 9/11 and the Kennedy conspiracies, anyway, that's part of the reason Fox canned him.
We have all the papers on the Kennedy now, don't we?
Not all of them, but all the ones that they felt were good enough to release. You can put enough stuff together with just those documents to kind of get an idea that the CIA was kind of negligent.
I was talking to somebody about this a while ago, though. I mean, you could tell there was not an urgency to solve it.
Right.
With what they've released, my understanding of what I've seen and what people tell me. I mean, this stuff was all over the place. There was no conclusions drawn. There was nothing really drawn. It's just all this information and nothing done with it. Yeah.
Well, then look what happened. Once Lyndon Johnson takes over, we go straight into war. It's just everything. I mean, I would probably rank him up there with one of the worst presidents of all time during his short tenure. But yeah, and then the 9/11 one. There's actual files that show that they were actually. The CIA was actually planning a fake hijacking, and they were trying to get some of these terrorists to come in the country because they wanted to catch them planning a fake hijacking and get them. So I guess from what Tucker's released so far, he's doing like a 5 or 6 part series, but his first episode came out like 2 days ago, and it's pretty interesting. But they basically were trying to run this operation. I guess the operation got too far, and they were actually able to. Obviously, whatever they did or didn't do right to kind of control it and capture these people, it went off the rails, and that's why it happened. And then the CIA tried to cover it up.
That makes a lot more sense to me than people who think the CIA actually made sure the planes went into the building.
Yeah, no, I don't think they did that. I think they try to run these secret operations. Like
Fast and Furious, with the guns.
Yeah. CIA does a lot of things that they shouldn't do and that are illegal, and then they try to hide it. When life gets unpredictable, turn to a partner you can trust. At Bobby Clary State Farm, we've got you covered. Whether it's home, auto, or life insurance, we're dedicated to providing personalized coverage that fits your needs. With our friendly and knowledgeable team, navigating your insurance options have never been easier. Visit BobbyClary.com or call 843-438-6000. Bobby Clary State Farm, here to help life go right.
Eisenhower Dental, located at 107 Waccamaw Medical Park Drive in Conway, a place where you can find all your dental services, including general dentistry, cosmetic, restorative, and pediatric dentistry. Reach out to them today at their website, eisenhowerdental.com, or call them at 843-234-3110, 843-234-3110, and tell them Wes the Economist sent you.
For just to cover for themselves and take no responsibility for what they could have prevented easily. And I think that's what it's kind of going to get into. We'll see how, I'll have to keep watching it and see. But and then there were a lot of people, and it's actually it's not public record because it's still classified, but there were a lot of people who shorted the airline stocks right before 9/11, and it's still, and the government knows who those people were, but it's all classified. They won't release it, and it's like, okay, well, these. Clearly, somebody knew this attack was coming, and some of it probably were people that worked for the CIA that was like, oh crap, this could possibly happen, and this is going to be a big thing for the airlines. I'm going to make some money off of this, which is evil.
Yeah, evil. Yeah,
that
was the whole basis of that. Clancy was it Clancy?
Tom Clancy.
Wait, what? Shadow Recruit. Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit. Do you ever follow any Jack Ryan movies?
No, I know Jack Ryan, but I don't think I've ever seen any of the movies. They're all like CIA spy movies.
This is the one who played. The guy that plays the new James Kirk on Star Trek. Oh, what's his name?
I don't watch Star Trek.
He also was in Wonder Woman, the boyfriend in Wonder Woman. You don't know what I'm talking about.
I didn't watch Wonder Woman either.
Chris Pike.
Okay, I know Chris Pike, but I don't know.
He played Jack Ryan in one thing. It was called The Shadow Recruit. And it was all about this Russian guy who was trying to bomb downtown New York, and he had all this money set to sell at the last second to make sure he made billions of dollars off of it. So that was after 9/11. So I'm sure that was a take on what that theory is.
Yeah. Well, there's documents that show this, but a lot of it's still classified or either redacted.
Yeah.
But Tucker's going through all of it, and he's been strong against 9/11 for a while and some of the stuff that happened there. But what I've gathered so far is it probably could have been completely prevented.
Yeah.
And secondly, the CIA didn't quite allow it to happen, but they didn't take the necessary precautions to make sure it didn't actually happen. And they're honestly culpable and liable for a lot of what happened, but they're never going to be held accountable because they'll never release any of that. Right. Because it's the same concept there. It just seems like they'll run these operations that are highly top secret. Something goes wrong, and then they're like, we've got to do everything we can to cover this up so we don't get responsibility and lose our power. And it just seems like it's just one of those things where it's just gotten out of hand and they've gone too far, and it doesn't seem like it's ever going to go back.
Well, I know another conspiracy theory that's been out there is about the FBI being in the crowd at J6.
Yeah.
And I saw an article earlier today that put like 267 some type of agents in the crowd.
Yeah. That wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
It doesn't come up, so I don't know where I saw that at or what it means. But
it says the FBI
275 plainclothes. Yeah, 275 plainclothes agents embedded in January 6th, 5 hours ago. I don't know where the original story broke.
Right.
I saw that today. Again, we're talking about conspiracy, so I'm not saying that's true. I'm
right.
That there's a lot out there at this point. Things going on. I think it goes back to the government being too big and right hand not knowing what left hand's doing.
Yeah.
And deep state, all this stuff. I had somebody a while ago call it the underground. I hadn't heard of the underground.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, it's definitely underground. Yeah.
I mean, with Charlie Kirk, we've already got so many conspiracy theories out of what's going on there,
and we'll never get the full story there either. That's what annoys me is I know like all this stuff when I go down these rabbit holes with conspiracies, I'll never be able to prove them, even if there's a lot of facts. That
Candace Owens thinks she's got enough information. I don't know if you've
I haven't been listening to her lately, but I've like heard people talking about like what she's trying to.
Yeah,
I'm gonna wait till she's got a whole story together. I don't want to get it one piece at a time.
Yeah.
I like just give me the. That's why with Tucker's thing, I would rather it be one series and I can just watch it at all. But it's like every week he's releasing a new one. But it's so interesting with the 9/11 stuff that I just want to listen to it as soon as it comes out. But I look forward to seeing what else he digs into on that. But I have concerns that he might be the next one that they try to silence. You know, that's my conspiracy theory, that they're going to start taking out people like that.
Well, but I think the difference, and I said this a while ago to my friend too, and I've heard this everywhere. You've seen this everywhere. They didn't kill Charlie for what he was saying.
Right.
They didn't kill. I mean, honestly, I believe he ultimately lost his life because of his faith. That's a whole other podcast we can talk about. But what we're talking about here, I don't think Charlie got killed for what he was saying. He got killed because so many people were listening.
Right.
And not many people were listening to Tucker anymore. He's kind of pushed on the fringe. Candace has been pushed on the fringe.
Yeah. Even though
Glenn Beck has been on the fringe for 25 years.
Right,
it's like nobody's quote unquote listening.
Yeah,
not enough people. Well, I think Alex Jones is on the fringe, but that's just my opinion.
Well, he's predicted some things that I was like, I don't know how he did that. But a lot of his stuff, I'm like, he's a little far for me. But there's been a few things, like I'm pretty sure he predicted the 9/11 attacks before they happened. Like he was on air and said that they were gonna, and then
but everybody knew that. They already tried to bomb him in '93.
Yeah.
Did he actually say hijack?
I think he specifically mentioned the World Trade Center attacks, like the buildings up.
Well, again, that's what they tried.
I knew they in '93 they did the World Trade Center bombing in the bottom. Yeah.
Well, they thought it was going to bring it down. They tried to put the trucks at places where they thought would.
Yeah.
Bring the whole thing down.
Right.
So it's not a far-fetched thinking.
No, it's not. It's not. But he also predicted the whole thing.
You really want to see something freaky. Rosenfeld. Oh, what's his name? He actually had a book scheduled to come out in September of 2001. What is his name? I can't remember his name. I can't remember the name.
It didn't ever get released?
They wouldn't release it. That's not who it is. No, that's not the ones. Rosenfield. No, I'd have to find out.
But what happened with the book?
So he had this book. It was all fiction, and he's a big study of Scripture, especially Ezekiel, Daniel, from our podcast coming out this weekend. And the first chapter of his book opens up with a terrorist flying an airplane into a building in downtown Arizona.
Okay.
The book was already written. It was ready to be published.
Yeah.
And they held the date because it was supposed to publish after. I want to say the 12th of September. I don't think it was.
Yeah.
But sometime in September or October it was supposed to come out, and they held it up. He then went on to write another book. I forget which one it was. And again, before it got published, the stuff had happened in there. So people started asking him, how are you writing this stuff? What, you obviously know something. You're not telling anybody. He said, no, I'm just studying Scripture.
Yeah.
My interpretation of Scripture, what's to come, this is possibility how things could come about.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was kind of freaky.
It is freaky.
So a lot of people have had ideas that something was coming. Just like we all now have an idea of something's coming soon again.
Yeah, there's actual, like, retired CIA specialists that are saying that there's only a matter of time now. They're here. We let them they're here the last 4 years, so they're here.
Yeah, they're here.
So.
Any other conspiracy before we wrap this one up? We're 15 minutes into this one.
I know. I can't think of any off the top. I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff.
Oh, there's tons out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's what's crazy is like so many of these conspiracy theories now. Like it's like okay, there's actually a little bit of fact behind this. This could be legit, you know.
But aren't most conspiracy theories like that?
Yeah, but then it's like, at what point do you used to say, oh, it's just a conspiracy theory?
I know.
Where is that line drawn? Like, because the reason they're conspiracy theories is because a lot of the fact is hidden on
Well, that's
purpose.
just it. They hold back facts. Something's going to fill the vacuum.
Right.
And so we end up with all this stuff going crazy.
Yeah, and a lot of it is fluff, but,
yeah,
you know, what do they say? Like, all jokes contain truth. You know, even jokes contain truth. So like every conspiracy theory, you know, if there's enough dots connecting, like there's some truth there somewhere where you know, but you know, then it just goes back to like, well, why is everything redacted and hidden? And it's like, oh, for national security. It's like, well, you hid the JFK file since 1963. Well, who in the world could be affected by national security in 2025 for something that happened in 63? And the only thing is like you're just protecting, you know, the lack of response or work of the CIA.
Well, I was going to say you're protecting the agency itself.
Yeah, from losing power because of corruption and negligence.
Because, like I said, everybody else is gone.
Right. Yeah.
Well, it's to be continued in the future. I'm just going to be more sticking out, I'm sure. Got to keep your name up front, too. Conspiracy theorists, we got to get more time into this. Yeah,
until the CIA puts cyanide in my coffee. Yeah, let's keep that going. I think I haven't touched on this in a while. I'm still in a place where I would never kill myself. Okay. I just want to put that on there.
So we've got it on camera again.
We do, on camera.
He's not suicidal.
I am not suicidal. No. All right. I
good?
feel safer now. We'll see you guys on the next one.
I would
maybe
feel safer. See y'all next time.
All right.
Mortgage payment, insurance payments, credit card payments, they can be very overwhelming. Are you ready to take the time to get things under control? Then reach out to me at Clark Financial Coaching to see if we can get you started with a budget and then a vision for the future. Write me at coachwesc@gmail.com. That's coachwesc@gmail.com.
Are you looking to buy a home in North or South Carolina? You need to reach out to Wave Beach Realty today. We are a family-owned company with over 10 years of experience in North and South Carolina and operate along the Grand Strand. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. That's 843-957-3872. Thanks for listening to the Dollars and Cents Podcast with Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist and Wes the Economist. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and X at DollarsCentsGS and on Facebook at Dollars and Cents.